Minecraft has rivers, and they all lead somewhere. So yesterday I opened up a completely random Minecraft world to answer a few questions. Where do Minecraft rivers go? And how accurate are they? I first loaded up into a forest, which was really convenient because vegetation, trees, and there was water right in front of me. So I walk down, I run, jump, and boom, I'm in a small ravine. Rivers are bodies of water that move and are semi-permanent, so you'd expect to see them there all the time, all year round, you know what I mean? Ravines are caused by erosion, typically in the form of rivers, over hundreds of thousands of years. So, from this we can assume that this river and this ravine have been here for a very long time. At least long enough to cut through 3 meters of stone, which is a lot, in case you don't know. So I follow the river down, and then it enters a massive bay. A bay is like a river. No, not a river. A bay is like a lake, but it leads directly into the ocean. So there's sort of like sections that act as walls. In this world, there was a forest, a beach, and rocks. Then it was sort of like set up like a Venn diagram, like that sealed off the lake. And then it led into the ocean. It was cool, there was like a little nibbly bit. But that isn't what we're looking for, we're not jumping the shark this early. This video isn't titled, Where Does Minecraft Oceans Go? It's, Where Do Minecraft Rivers Go? So I found a more appropriate stream, and oh my god, this is the most accurate river I've ever seen in Minecraft. It's relatively flat, it's in a plains biome, the sides head towards the ground, so like when it rains, that's when the water would come in, and it would erode that area, because lots of water would come in through that way. This is 100%, I swear I've been here before in real life. You know what I mean? I was probably here last week. I follow it, right, and it gets even better. It goes into a completely normal looking lake. This is currently like a A+ for accuracy. This is like every lake you'd ever see in a plains biome. But one thing that isn't accurate is how quickly we got from the forest to the plains biome. Nothing around. In real life, like the climate isn't that different. In real life, it would take me ages to see this change. And the reason why that's important is because part of climate is water flow, the water cycle. There was another river at the end of the lake and I wanted to follow that, but I was really disappointed. I looked around and it led into another ravine. There was like this massive drop-off point just like right below, and it wasn't nice at all because it was being held up by floating gravel. Like, there's no gravity in Minecraft. I would like to think that this formation had existed for like decades before I decided to break the gravel and watch the water flow all the way down. It didn't lead anywhere, of course, which was a little bit sad because I drained an entire lake for nothing. This ravine was nowhere near as accurate as the first one, so I'd have to give it like a really low score if I was rating it. They're doing like an ephemeral vibes-based system. As I climbed out of the ravine, I saw something amazing. A waterfall. This waterfall looked very small. It wasn't that crazy. It was coming out of a mountain, or I'd say maybe a hill, more accurately. Either way, I climbed to the very top and decided to swim down, expecting, you know, it to lead back to the path. When I got to the top, I saw the forest that we started from, the amazing lake, and the bay and ocean just slightly off into the distance. I thought, you know, catching the waterfall would take me down to one of those spots, but it didn't. It just took me down this disgusting hole into the ground and it didn't stop. It was gross. It was so bad. It just kept on going and going, and then all of a sudden I was in this cavern and crevice. I had to hold up like a lantern because I couldn't see like more than 2 centimeters in front of me. The water like got really flat. It was like a bunch of like streams. And then saw light, which was caused by lava. In real life, water would not be this close to lava because it'd be evaporating, I'd be burning, it'd be terrible, right? So this is not accurate. This is by far the least accurate thing I've seen so far. I was a little bit heartbroken too, because how would water come from the top of that hill? When I was there, I didn't see any water sources. So I swam all the way back up to the top. I didn't see anything. I broke around the area just to see what was there. There was just an infinite water source. Not accurate at all. By far the least accurate thing I've seen, and my expectations are already lowered. But what's funny about that is I was distraught. I can't lie to you. I was so sad. I had tears in my eyes. In my search to rationalize the kids game, I found this thing called an aquifer. An aquifer are like underground lakes, but with like heaps of water. Essentially, people make like pipes and pumps, so the water comes all the way up through the air into taps and streams, something drinkable. Maybe, just maybe, this waterfall was actually being caused by an aquifer, but they didn't have an accurate way to simulate it. So I activated detective mode, flew all the way down to the ground, and there it was. The giant aquifer just sitting there. I was like, help. I'm under the water. I was drowning. It was really bad. I saw fish and axolotls, even pockets of just like clay and vegetation, which was amazing. Like, this is like perfectly, I think this is accurate. You've never been in an aquifer, neither have I, so we can't really say it is inaccurate. That being said, I climbed up and was surprised, because it started to form like an underwater cave. And that cave kept on going up and up and up until I was in the bay that we landed in at the start of the game. It was crazy. Not really that crazy. It really puts a whole new meaning on the term water cycle, right? It also means that it probably wasn't an aquifer that we were in. And look, in Minecraft things are sort of accurate, but not completely. Maybe trying to rationalize a kid's game isn't the best idea. But my favorite part of like new Minecraft worlds is just how blank everything is. It looks realistic, and most of our bases are near like weird structures, but it isn't. It's just a tool for imagination, right? It's a good imitation of reality, but it isn't a simulation. If this video gets 10,000 views, I'll do it again, but with like mountains or something. If it doesn't, I will not. Subscribe to my channel, so I can make money.